Hi, it's Cassie from Modern Marketing Spark and the Modern Marketing Club. Hope you're well. This is day 4 of my 5 in 5 Facebook Lives, talking about the most commonly asked questions about Facebook advertising. This is a hot topic and I'm always asked about Facebook ads, so I thought I would cover a different question every day. So today we're going to be talking about which metrics you need to track when you're running Facebook ads, because when you log into the dashboard, the ad manager dashboard, it can be a bit overwhelming because you get all this information. And I compare it to Google Analytics, where you've got this, it's like flying an aeroplane, you've got all these dashboards and numbers and graphs and columns and all of this information in there, and actually you don't need all of those things. You only need to track a few key things. So for most of us mere mortals, a few key metrics to track are the key thing. So I want to share with you today the key metrics to track with Facebook ads. Also want to let you know that next week I'm going to be running a Facebook ad boot camp. So if you'd like details on the boot camp, type FAB in the comments below and I'll send you information. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through the process of setting up a high-performing Facebook ad campaign from absolutely ground zero through to having your Facebook ad campaign launched and live by next weekend. So we're going to cover copywriting, how you find and create compelling images, targeting and interest groups, and actually setting up your ad and making sure you avoid the mistakes that we talked about yesterday, and that your ad is going to be high performing, or you're going to maximize everything you can so that your ad is high performing. So let's jump into Facebook ad metrics. So what should you be tracking when you're in Facebook? Well, first of all, you should be tracking your ad spend. So you need to know how much are you spending and how much have you spent to date. Because until you know what you've spent, you can't work out what anything's costing you. So that's number one, is your spend. Number two is the number of clicks that you're getting. So depending on what your objective is for the ad and what you're optimizing the ad for, you need to know how many clicks you're getting. So you need to know how many people are clicking through to whatever the objective is that you've set for your ad. So once you know your ad spend and your clicks, then you can work out your cost per click. Not rocket science, but these are the key things you need to track. So ad spend, clicks, and then cost per click. Now you'll need to set your own guidelines, but we have some rough rules of thumb around cost per click for different types of campaigns. And what that means is when you're running your different test campaigns, if you've got a cost per click which is above the level that you've set yourself, then you need to switch that ad campaign off pretty pronto. Otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of money on an ad set that's maybe not working. If your ads are coming in below that level that you've set yourself as your sort of benchmark for your cost per click, then that's great. You can increase the budget on those. So number 4 is click-through rate. What is your click-through rate? So of the people that see your ad, how many are clicking through and taking the action that you want them to take? And that's really important. Now, as a very, very rough rule of thumb, and again, it's going to depend on your campaign and your objectives and your market, how competitive your marketplace is, you want a click-through rate of at least 1%. So if you've got a click-through rate which is lower than 1%, you need to really have a look and decide whether you're going to continue with those ads or not. If you're above 1% click-through rate, that generally is pretty good. So I've had ads as high as 3, 4, 5%, which I was really, really happy with. And then I've also had ads that have come in at, 0.5%, 0.5 sometimes, and those just get switched off because that's just not a good enough click-through rate. Next thing to track is the number of leads. So if you're running a conversion ad, remember we talked in day 1 about the different objectives of your ads, is to see how many leads, so how many people are taking the action you want them to take, how many people are signing up for your webinar, going through to your landing page and signing up for your lead magnet, your opt-in, or taking that next step that you want them to take. So you need to track your leads. Now, because you know what your ad spend is and you know what your leads are, you can now work out your cost per lead. So if you've spent $100 and you've got 100 leads, then you know your cost per lead is $1. And what I recommend you do is to have a spreadsheet. We put everything in Google Docs, Google Sheets, and we have a different column for all of these things, and we track them. What you can do is you can set up a custom report from within Facebook, within the Ad Manager, to actually measure all of these different things and then send you a weekly report. So that's really handy as well. But when you get the report, you're going to then put that into Excel to have a look at it. And then the third thing to track, really, so we've looked at clicks and we've looked at cost per lead. The third thing is relevance. So what does that mean? Facebook assigns a relevance score to your different ad sets. And the relevance score is a measure of how much interest, how well targeted and how relevant that ad is to the audience you're showing it to. Now, the relevance score goes from 0 to 10, and it won't actually appear in your Ad Manager until you've had 500 impressions. So once you've had over 500 impressions, then you'll start to see your relevance score. Now, if your relevance score is really low, if you're getting a 2 or a 3, then that means that the audience you're targeting is not responding well to that particular ad. If you're getting more like 8, 9 or 10, then your audience are responding as you hope they would. So do keep an eye on relevance score, because what happens is as well, if your relevance score is low but you're still pumping money into that ad campaign, you're going to be paying more for the ad, because Facebook is saying, you know, you're posting something, you're sharing something that's not really relevant to that group. And of course, this is why it's so important to always be testing, because let's say you've got 10 different ad sets, your relevance score is going to be different, and you don't know whether that's the image, the copy, the audience. You know, you need to test all those different things. But do keep an eye on relevance score. The other thing that's really useful about the relevance score is it gives you an indication of ad fatigue. So ad fatigue is when people have seen your ad too many times, and actually there is a measurement that you can see within the dashboard of the Ads Manager, which will tell you the average number of times that people have seen your ad. And once that starts to creep up, once people see your ad, you know, 3, 4, 5 times, you're going to get ad fatigue, where people are just going to get blind to it, or they're just going to get fed up. And people can report your ads if they keep seeing them, they don't want to see them. They can actually flag up, I don't want to see this ad, and that's going to bring your relevance score down. So it's all about target offer message, it's all about testing, and it's all about tracking those metrics. So relevance really gives you a measure of how your audience is finding your ads. And then for yourself, you need to be looking obviously at your spend, your cost per click, your click-through rate. That's your management measurement for how your ads are doing. So that's all I wanted to say on tracking ads. Very, very short and sweet today. Any questions on what you should be tracking with Facebook ads? Now, don't ask me what... I have given some numbers before, sort of rough ballpark numbers for cost per lead and cost per click, but it really, really does vary, and it's not always as you would predict. So best thing I can recommend is what I said on Monday, which was to take your $80, split it into 2, run campaign A, campaign B, check the metrics I've just been through, and you start to get a sense of what your click-through rate and your cost per click and your cost per lead is, just even such a small budget like that. So are there any questions on Facebook ad metrics? I can see somebody's having a little vent in here. Can I get your lives? Just odd. You're on the live because you're commenting. So, hello. Okay, I'm going to finish there because I don't want this to be long. I don't want to sort of keep this running for the sake of it. So if you've got any questions, type them in the box. If you're interested in the Facebook ad bootcamp, where I'm going to show you how to create a high performing Facebook ad campaign in 5 days, so by next weekend, type FAB in the box and I'll get you all the details. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. So day 5, the last day of my Facebook ad live series. I'm going to be talking about what do you do if your ads aren't working. So let's say you've set your ads up and you've put some money in and you've done your testing and you've managed your audiences and they're not working. What do you do? And that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow here on the Modern Marketing Spark Facebook page, 1 p.m. UK time, and we'll talk about what you do if your ads aren't working. All right, take care guys. Bye.